Having achieved success in the Mournlands and getting the card from Lord Sophin, I'm sure he definitely doesn't hold a grudge about how it was done. Elmister, I believe you had a plan. You had something you'd like to do.
Well, seeing the obvious pain, what has just transpired is doing to my friend Merrick's here. Mm-hmm. And we can all see that, so it's time to get out of here. Not make him suffer a moment longer in the middle of something where, after all, it's all the bad memories, and we can't do anything to fix it right now.
Yeah, Lowell doesn't like seeing him like this, so we should get him to a...
Let's get out of here. Now, the fast way out of here is to use that return to Sigil.
So we don't need to stick around in Eberron any longer. So Lowell will say, are you okay to leave Eberron again? All right. Where do we go? Sigil?
Yeah, we're going to go to a place where, if you're really lucky, you can get lots of recruits. But it may take a while.
Well,
so consider this a recon. We might not be there very long. Okay.
I think we are following the ways. I'm so proud.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, let's do it. Gather round. Oh, and I return us to six.
The familiar metal tang of teleportation and the metal in the air of Sigil returns to you as you appear in a room filled with little runed circles. You believe you're in the Hall of Information, somewhere in one of their back rooms.
It's not the information you want it to be.
We're in
kind of a disappointment.
Yeah.
We're in the hall, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You're in sort of one of the back rooms of teleportation. You'll see occasionally just like another one come up and a group of adventurers will appear. And
so first of all,
some of them will be like, oh my god, is that Elminster?
Let's retrieve our little teleportation thing and put it away for reuse.
Yes.
Should we take this opportunity to look at the...
Yeah, I would say Merrick's basically straightens up, as soon as we're in here, just kind of straightens up, dusts himself off, and he's like, we should get back to the planar orrery and look at the situation.
We need to see
what's changed.
Let's see if the skimmers are back at work or some such ideas.
And he does shift his outfit, by the way, because I'm wearing shift weave. We might have learned about that.
Yeah.
So, let's put that...
Does it come on armor?
Oh, yeah. We can fix you.
At least on the clothes. So
we can fix you up something.
I do like that.
Thank you.
Perhaps we could license the rights.
Oh, sure.
To put some of that in Imaria.
And again, part of it is Merrick's of a day ago would be jumping all over that, and Merrick's is just like, yeah, we could do that. Let's go. It'll pass.
Heading out of the Hall of Information, you just hail a random transport.
We gotta find out who won the fight.
His face.
Come on.
So you wave off several
We'll just get mad at you. Come on.
Yeah, several onion-shaped cabs come along. You wave them away.
Be gone.
Eventually, the thundering boom of an ogre with a bloody nose and a crooked lip and a black eye comes on over.
I see him.
He's my favorite customers. And I will say, just for in a day, as you emerge out, you see this massive expanse of sort of rusty blue, greeny buildings with blades on all ends, no smooth surfaces, and you appear to be in sort of a bowl, if it were to angle outwards, where you can see that there's just a smoky film for a sky, but you can see lights twinkling of other windows and street lights, and you can hear the sound of chatter all the way from up and down and all around, and you seem to be in this sort of weird, as if you're inside of a donut kind of idea, just the ground rearing up on either side. That every type of thing is walking around. You can see angels, giant constructs, fiends, weird various hybrids of different types of animals and humanoids, and just every other thing that you could possibly imagine making their way to and from. Beings made of fire, made of earth, just anything. All around. And then this ogre in a cab, like a rickshaw with an onion-shaped cab comes up and seems quite friendly with your other companions.
Onion-shaped cab, big enough to take all of us.
Right. Sure, yeah, not onion-shaped.
Fist. Yes, good to see you.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah. You replenished your walking about money.
Oh, I sure did.
All right.
Right.
You want another tattoo? This is the time. Take 'em.
No, it's not.
I did win. It was rather spectacular.
Come closer. Your eye looks a little bit, and it just kind of like pushes eye socket up and fixes lip.
Yes.
Lay on hands to heal it.
I shoved my face into his fists and then I beat him.
I'll heal it.
Well, thank you very much.
It's a tip. It's a tip.
It's a very good. It's a nice tip.
Yes.
Where can I take you? Just
Hall of the Planar Energy.
on the Planar Energy Cooperative.
That's the one.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's where I picked you up. I think the first time.
Heck.
All right.
And are we going to need him to wait outside?
Yeah, we'll pay the waiting fee.
Because I don't know if we want to plane shift from that chamber.
Well, you're gonna.
We're going to see Mr. Fell again.
No, that's right. We got to see Fel. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. And by the way, here's a little something extra. Yeah, this will actually be like a little, because I did put some money on that fight. So if he won, I'm going to share the share the wealth.
Before, as everybody's getting on into the onion, I'll probably be the last one getting on before I get on it. If you would like to have your face hit fists a lot less, would you like to join my order?
Kind of my whole technique.
No, it's his thing.
Oh, it's just well, then how
I
about?
have mastered the art of face-to-fist combat.
I love it. I love it a lot, and I think if you would like to have more time to better strategize and hit more of
Okay,
your
let's get
face
it, sir.
with more fists, here's my here, and I give him another.
I'll just be like,
Yeah. No. Well, actually, if that's the best safekeeping for you, it's a metal piece. I don't know if you'd like to have it in your stomach, but here. Does he have any
For the
cloth?
regularity.
No, does he have any shirt or anything on?
He's a loincloth. He stuffs it in.
I was like, here, let me help you, and I stick it on onto the side of the loincloth.
All right.
You have to buy him a drink first.
We got cards ahead.
He weaves you on past the tower sorceress with the incantarium milling about, the weird solidified mercury tower, and this is where you can start to see just the various vistas.
Oh, Internet's excited. He's like,
Endless city.
Yes. On past the tower sorceress with the ancient wizened purple robe incantarium, past the gastronome and the great gymnasium, all the way up to the forked adamantine towers, or mithril towers of the Planar Energy Cooperative. Looks like they have managed to rebuild all of the arcane wardings and enchantments along the doorways and the entrances. It looks a little
You want to
less
charm down just on general principle?
destruct.
feels like.
Just for a challenge?
No.
See how good their system is?
Well, let's just walk right through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You suppose that Melf is all right?
I'm sure he is fine. We can contact him, but I don't know if we should.
I could also astral project all of us too, if you need it.
Yeah, we should give him some time. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things to take care of.
We interrupt
Be
him now.
interrupting.
It won't be a
It's
good
been
time.
less than a day.
I'm just saying, if I was jumping in to fight a war, the last thing I want is my friends popping to be like, how's the war going? But we're the good time saving the world. We just fought Lord Seth. And let's check it out.
But that's just us.
Send him a couple Sunday stones.
Exactly.
Something to watch.
Well, I mean, we've got something to watch.
What is it that looks like this?
Yeah.
It's a good resting face.
Heading in, or at least heading up, the door opens before you with Farius, the Pengol wizard.
Oh, yes, you've returned. We've noticed you've been doing quite well. I trust you have brought the cards here for us to hold on to.
Oh, sure, but
No.
Not yet.
We need them. We need them in this ongoing endeavor.
I feel like that's rather dangerous for you to be walking around in Paris.
Yes.
Did I just hear the words, rather dangerous, leave your lips?
What you're doing is dangerous.
That's all in the name of the greater good, of course.
Wait, is this Doofus?
No, this is the Pengolian.
Oh, Pingo. Oh, yeah.
but still, he just
Yes,
said the
the
thing.
greater good.
Very good. Come on in. And,
Yes.
As you see that they've cleared a lot of the debris, and much of the orrery is being rebuilt. You can see the sections that have exploded and damaged are being modified. You got Darbus, the halfling, is currently hanging down, levitating, and he's kind of in the middle of mending and reconstituting what looks to be some kind of. It looks kind of like a world, but it's smaller. You're not really sure what it is exactly. It's still in the process of being.
Are there any labels on this now?
Oh yeah, they actually do have all the worlds labeled that you've been to, that you've seen. They got like Athas.
Show us
all that.
give us some labels of ones we haven't been to yet.
Is Imaria on there now?
Imaria is now officially labeled and been built into the orrery.
Oh, that's what I'm from.
Oh, I thought we cut that off.
Yeah, they've got it labeled.
We need it for now.
Because Loho's looking, thinking that if he wipes it off, they can't find it again. So
Yeah.
he's thinking about that.
I thought we did that, but
Did we do all the cards on the mark?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Well, we don't know where things may go by the end of this.
We'll leave it
there
there for now.
may be
afterwards.
more cards.
Yeah.
That's the
They've got Toril. You can see they now actually just have displaying two large spots on Toril, kind of glowing areas. You see Oerth is currently
I
Go
peer
ahead.
at them and see exactly where these large areas
Candle
are.
keeping.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
You can see Oerth is still doing quite well, although you can see there's a lot of like black coming up from the north and the south, and there's a little bit of a glowing, a little green glowing arrow-shaped spot in the middle.
Pincers movement.
Yeah. There's the world of Krynn, which you can see two glowing areas on as
And
well. The blood ocean and the elven land,
Sylvanesti.
the Sylvanesti.
right.
Then you can see Athas still has one section glowing on it, the city of Uruk. Aebrynis has two, which I think we also have, and then Mystara with its two as well.
right.
And these are all the locations of
Yeah, and then there's also Imaria and Eberron. You can see is doing. It has no more big glowing spots other than the giant black mark that is the Mournland that they're constantly seem to be monitoring. But otherwise, and you can see that the levels are still in the yellow and still not doing quite well in terms
So
of that.
where do we go?
Where do we go?
I don't know anything about these other worlds.
It's time to look at all of those maps and the book and everything that our colleague.
The ones that Maple gave us.
Yes.
Yes, they gave them to
Correct
you.
idea.
Not.
All right, what would you like to look up?
Perhaps with the maps and the cards might give us an indication as to where
We can try. We can try and determine where to go. And we'll see what the cards say. I need somebody to cut it.
I've never got to cut the cards.
That's
Albel,
true.
I've been handing them to people, but I've never actually done it.
Albel, the half-orc wizard, kind of just peers, examining what you're doing.
Mm. Well.
Jeez.
they're all upside down.
They are. Good job.
Are you sure you weren't dealing it to the kid over here? You know, like they're facing him? No? Okay.
Well, we are trying to determine where we need to go, so all of these cards are going to help us determine. It is not like a past, present, future type thing, or who's the subject, what is the other things that are affecting it. We have courage, which is upside down, which is, it means that this is a place that may test that courage. We know that, Toril is fine.
There are so many wizards walking around there.
We have maybe made an enemy on Krynn.
Well, luckily he's in your pocket right over there.
For now.
Yeah, be careful how you sit down.
A place without divine guidance for any of us. And a place without luck. A place of darkness and strangeness.
It sounds like your land, but not.
No, I'm not.
we
I
don't
have
have
no
any cards.
symbology at all that say we should go there. And we know we don't need to go there. But I'm thinking that from our list, comparing it all for where we need to go, I don't feel a pull of Toril here at all. This is definitely not Krynn. There's Aebrynis and Mystara.
Does anyone know anything about either Aebrynis or Mystara?
Yeah.
Well, the notes would be able to tell you some information.
Yeah,
It would tell you
okay.
that Aebrynis is a land that experienced a god war. All of the gods fought each other on something called a giant mountain, which exploded, and the divine essence was spread across the followers of those gods, and some of them arose, and many of them were then left with the bloodline. And then Mystara has a whole bunch of big red marks and cautions around it, saying basically it looks like it is not divinely influenced whatsoever, in that it is ruled by things called the Immortals.
Right. If this card had been turned this way, I would say, oh, we should definitely be going Aebrynis. But because there is no divine guidance, I'm saying we are supposed to go. I feel it. Mystara.
It's good enough for me.
Okay. Anything in the notes as to where?
Well, we can go to either the Savage Coast or the Isle of
Well,
Dread.
that's where the markings were.
Yes.
However, you can also see that if you look at the orrery and you look at Mystara, it's currently only showing one big glowy spot. The one on the Isle of Dread seems to be gone.
Oh, someone else.
But according to the notes that you have, it's very difficult to get to Mystara because these immortals actively repel extraplanar interference. The only place that anyone...
Sounds very similar to the Elder
The only
Dragons,
place that outsiders can get to is a demiplane they have there called Limbo, which is where all of those deceased of Mystara go to then meet the immortals and then get sent back or be ascended or whatever might be happening. And apparently some fiends and celestials are allowed into Limbo to do odd jobs for the immortals, and in exchange they give them souls from the planet they just don't want anymore.
Don't like this place at all.
I don't like
Having been in limbo, no, let's not go limbo.
It's a silly place.
The only other ways in is the Isle of Dread is known to be riddled with extraplanar magic, and it tends to pop around every now and again. It's been known to be in Oerth and other planes over the ages. And Alfheim is the forest of Alfheim, also called Kenolbarth. Yeah, Kenolbarth Forest is riddled with similar extraplanar energy, and beings will occasionally pop into the Kenolbarth Forest, and you can get there that way through portals. They don't always remain open for very long, but there usually is always one that takes you
and
there.
that's nearby the Isle of Dread where we need to go.
Alfheim is a bit of a distance away from everything, but it is one of the only ways to the actual world itself.
We can't just go straight to Isle of Dread because it's moving.
You could go straight to the Isle of Dread.
Don't.
But I think we just
We
should.
don't know if it's in Mystara
No,
or
the
not.
Isle of Dread is like...
Oh, because it could be somewhere else.
It's-
Is that, that's why it's not appearing on the thing.
Right, that's one that disappeared.
I will also point out,
Clever.
none of the other worlds have any glowingness that are additional to what you saw before. It's just the one on the Isle of Dread does not appear to be there anymore.
So,
Oh.
I do have a question. If we can, so you're saying that this Mystara location, unless we are allowed by these immortals to be entered, we cannot enter it directly.
No.
No.
that's limbo. That's if we went.
Well, limbo, yes, but
We can go through limbo. Not recommend.
true.
Or we can go
I do
down.
have a potential other solution if you would like to explore. I don't know how well it would work.
One other thing is that it does specify that due to the fact that these immortals rule the world of Mystara and that they get their power from the worship of those that the mortals of that world, they jealously guard this power, right? And that's the reason why they don't allow extraplanar things in. Because they do not wish for their people to be aware of other worlds and of other deities in order to preserve their own power.
So they are going to hate us.
Sure. I am.
Yeah.
I am just kind of curious, though. I mean, can maybe you? I don't know. Can you explain to me? This is where there's no gods here. There's just immortals who gain power from worship. How is
We don't
that
get
not
that
a
info.
god?
No, it does have details that explain basically an immortal is an ordinary mortal who has achieved significant deeds that have changed the course of the world and then undergone a trial set before from the other immortals and then completed said trial to impress them and is then ascended.
What do you
So
need a
rather
god
than some
for?
kind of big celestial or fiend.
And the difference between that and Imaria is that Imaria, the dragons don't require worship.
Sure.
They require anonymity and they try to stay out of the world.
I have been to Mystara before.
Yes.
There are 2 gods hiding
Oh.
on the star.
Interesting.
But the less said about that, the better.
All right. Well, you do have a card.
Look,
Hiding.
again, I
They
don't
want
think
to
that you
hide.
need the gods at all.
That's great.
I don't worship a god, and I do just
No, I
fine.
mean, I worship one god. I mean,
I'm just saying, should the immortals converge on us and try to do something violent, they might get stopped.
you might know a person or two.
They might get stopped.
Oh, how about this? Once again, it is not a guarantee it would work. It is an option in the future if we'd like to use it. If we have difficulty getting into Mystara, I can project us astrally,
Oh,
and then essentially, if it allows me to go through, because we will be entering through the astral plane, I can then teleport us through this experience and be in, hopefully, directly within the cut.
Couldn't we use that to get out?
That could
I
also
think that's
be
very.
Yes,
It is an
that is a
option.
great option.
It is an option that we can have.
So we got a guy. I mean, we got Fell. So we're saying this Alfheim place seems like the place to go. Shall we?
Yeah,
Well, maybe get the kid a tramp stamp.
I would say, not knowing where the world is and the way the astral plane works, you would be probably drifting for who knows how long before you found it. So it's definitely a better out than it is as an in. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you wish to head back to Face Fist's sedan chair and make your way over to Fell's Tattoos.
Fell's tattoos.
Did anyone drop anything inside the onion in a previous fare?
Ooh, I don't know.
What are you trying to do?
I'm thinking a tiny little Merrick's. I gotta get a milk and a.
Just anything small.
Hey, elf on a shelf.
I want a milk and a.
There does appear to be
valise on my shoulders. You know the.
there does appear to be a small scaled handbag, like little coin pouch, like this big.
I look inside right away in front of everybody. I'm not trying to hide it. I want to see what it is.
6 electrum.
We may need to give a tip somewhere.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And we may need a focus
Yep.
to Sigil.
Smart.
Zip.
That's
He
fair.
opens his little pouch and it vanishes.
Always looking ahead, my friend.
I shall take you to Fell's Tattoos on the other side of the city.
And he gets going.
Cool.
Walking is a great form of communication.
Yep. Here you go, big guy.
Very good.
And just as you start to get into the sedan chair, you do notice that a certain human in furs and leather kind of peers out and looks, and eyes widen as they see Elise getting into the sedan chair and starts kind of like moving, but then Face Fist takes off.
Do I see?
It was the merchant that you bought your
Oh,
outfit from.
hey!
He starts running after us. He's like,
He's pretty fast. I don't know. He might catch us.
No, he won't be.
There we go.
Go shift, go shift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. The fuck? As he keeps going backwards.
Yeah, and actually, Merrick will throw a haste on.
Oh,
Face-
very good.
Again, Benny.
Oh, yeah.
I
Get
very
a-
much hope we are going to rest after
Yeah, we want some
We're going
Yankee
to
stacks in
Mystara.
here.
Merchant throws up his hand and starts screaming, "Ammonium, guys, ammonium!" And they're just, and so the Face Fist is off and he's away faster than anybody can even see what's going on. And everybody's like, "What?"
So,
We're not gonna go rest though.
are there any
have to.
rules against
Yeah,
hasting
I kinda
Festus
do.
before his
I
next
need
fight? Just asking.
It only lasts a minute.
Do we have the time?
Yeah,
We
but
don't think
it'll only
we
take
get
him a
long
minute.
rest. Or we've been
sure.
taking long rests like every 2 hours. How do we?
No, we have not.
Our last long rest was on the
Washington.
train.
Your last long rest was
We didn't take it on the train.
No,
It was in, you're right.
it was in the Sharn Tower.
Yeah, so we've been on a train ride. We've been to Eston.
Pummeled.
We got pummeled.
Yeah, we got
What is
that.
I mean,
Look at you. 13 damage.
I took emotional.
points of slashing damage.
I suffered a lot of emotional damage.
Do you see this
It's really
mustache?
about the same.
It is a sin. a little bit.
The journey to the train from the tower after we
About 4 hours.
slept was 4 hours, and we were on the train for a while.
So it's been about half a day.
And then so like by the end of all of this, tattoos or whatever, we would probably sleep.
Yeah, because we're gonna get another tattoo.
I'm getting a tattoo.
Someone's getting a tattoo.
You eventually do
I don't
arrive
know if I can get it.
at the familiar building of Fell's tattoos, the weird sort of slightly key-shaped metal rounded building with the smoldering corpse bar just down the street away from it. You see those two trolls are back, and they've got now their other sides have been tattooed, and they're showing them off.
Actually, I too
Yeah.
would like to get a tattoo, if you do not mind.
I think we should get a group tattoo.
Magic
Magic
tattoo.
We could
With
get
a
a little Solar Brigade symbol, you know?
One thing he does do, though, is he
Sunny
reaches
bees.
down, and then from his bandolier, he pulls out a little vial, not this one, but one like it, and you see ash in there of some sort, and he hands it to you and says, "Could you please mix this in with the ink for me?"
Yeah, so as you enter in, Fell, the Dabus, the purple-skinned, horned, shock of white hair, kind of orangey red, rust-colored robes, does examine what you have and just
Appreciate it. It means
brings
a
it
lot.
over, gestures to the chair, and
And you see, like,
waves to Low Holt.
as he presents himself, he moves one of his, like, part of his bandolier, and there's, like, small patch here that is still empty from all the other tattoos that he has on his body. If you could please put and then he takes a card out, like a picture out. This was one of the children at our monastery. If you can please put out your inspiration when you see him. If you can put that right there. And mix that in.
Takes it there and places it upon you, and then the waves of his hands. You have essentially that this image begins to form on your chest of a teddy bear with a sword and a shield.
Thank you. That's
And then,
the last one. He was much older.
hand goes out to
than
Merrick.
that's what I had.
Shake, you know, hands a little casket.
And then a large wispy question mark appears in front of him as he gazes at Low Holt.
I did,
Replenish your coffer.
replenish my coffers.
Is there any non-attuned?
Yeah, you can just get a normal tattoo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should all get Sunny Bee tattoos.
I don't know if we have time
Is there
for
like
that.
a minor benefit tattoo we can all get that's not? I don't know what could we do? Like, what would be good?
Yeah.
Well, see, what would be very useful, I'm just going to throw it out and ask, because, again, I've been studying a thing. I know a little thing or two about alchemy, and that inspires me. I'm like, oh, if you're infusing things, I would propose essentially a sort of sending tattoo. You know, basically something that would allow us to message each other. So we're talking a common magic. We're not going to think, but the idea is basically
sending stone
but
tattoo.
not the power of sending, not like we could communicate over plane
message
distances, but essentially a slightly improved message.
But a mental
being able
a mental one.
Right,
so if
exactly.
we're silenced, we can.
Just basically something that is
That's
linking
badass.
us.
That would be
That
great.
would let us connect. So
then
I will propose this to Fel and throw out I've been thinking about this. Here's my sort of principles. Maybe they need time to think about it, and we do this the next time we come back to Sigil. But I'm gonna pitch it. Like, here's what I was thinking, but you're the tattoo expert.
Well, if I may then, as in part of my order, the only way I'm allowed to get a tattoo is if I have the ash of something of one I either find as a friend, a loved one, or sometimes my enemies. If I can have perhaps an effect of yours,
Okay.
perhaps a lock of hair. or something
Lock of hair is great. I was like, do you want me to cut off my finger? So hair is much better. Yeah, for sure.
And if
I think
whatever you're willing to.
So I actually think, you need that. But to me, that's actually a critical part of this. What we would do is everyone would give us a lock of hair. We would burn that and it would be infused. And that's
That
the
would
point.
be
It is
ideal, yes.
For it is something that would connect us all.
Smart. Boy, poor Mouth next time. We're all gonna be like,
Dude, you didn't get tattooed.
We should just sit there, look at each other, and then just start laughing. and
That's
he'll be
what
like,
burning one of these cards to communicate with someone on another plane would be like. We just got matching tattoos without you.
yeah, just like the spell phone shot of us all with like,
Hey.
sorry you're not here.
I do have to say, we got the contact other playing card.
That's what I
Can it be Melf?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that's why I said
Yeah.
we
You
really
good?
need
Yeah,
him.
nice.
We could call him.
Nice. Okay, but
So, I mean, yeah, if you all want to lay down and get matching tattoos, while you're at it, you can then ask Fel.
Yes, we need to go to the
Alfheim.
Alfheim. I got it.
So, do the tattoos actually do something?
can we do this
So,
message?
traditionally, he would give you a spell rot tattoo, which does not require attunement, and it basically functions like a scroll. So you can use
one time use?
one time cast a spell.
So
and
that's-
you could use that as sending.
That's traditional. What I'm asking
I know,
is if
you
we
were
could
asking
do
for something
a more of a message.
And I say I do like this idea of getting like a matching tattoo of all of your things together. So we will effectively basically set you up with a set of sending stones.
That's what
as
I'm saying.
tattoos.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, all right.
Which is an item that's likely
Work
going to go
more
in a
than
book.
once.
Right. Well, that's what I would say, because what we want is less
That makes-
distance and more casual.
And we'll
being
call
able
it,
to
we'll
just
call
be
it
physical.
send to ...
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss this later, but we have the.
No, we will
Yeah,
not.
We're trying to.
There's two types of stones. One that is one use per day, and one that is multiple use per day.
See, I think we're saying
Speaking
multiple
stone
use.
is what we're
Right.
looking
What we're doing is we want something it doesn't have to be sending. Is like you can send across the continent. I think this is like a range of a mile or less.
Speaking stone.
But it's being
Message
able to. They're message stones
Message
rather than
stones.
sending stones.
Very good. Okay.
And there is an item sort
Like
of
a
like this,
walkie-talkie.
so we can find
Yeah, there is.
comparisons.
Yep.
But
I like this idea a lot. I think this is great.
okay. And as I said, I will help prepare the.
That is going to use up, I think,
thanks.
the majority of your coffers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That's why I replenished them. I mean, I also want a bunch of money off of not this kind of money, but I mean, just have a little walking around bribery money. So.
Okay. As you ask about going to Alfheim, you see Fel he kind of leans back and strokes his pointed purple chin a little bit. And you kind of see just a bunch of jumbled, misty images appear in front of him. Just different weird symbols and thoughts and things kind of jumble a bit. And then there's and you see an image of a person holding a flute and playing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I know that.
And
I know that guy.
the music, the little music notes begin to come out, but they're droopy music notes.
Oh my goodness.
They're droopy music notes.
Thanks.
Okay, give me that. No.
No, I'm purposely screwing it up.
I don't understand it.
Listen,
They walk beneath and they walk through the door of a large stand surrounded. They're just built out of a huge mushroom, and you can see it appears to be like a salad bar.
What?
So this must be in the marketplace, probably.
Yeah.
This is like a salad gnome.
And then when he hears that, Fel's like
No.
the whole thing, and then it just appears. You see the image of a pit with bubbling grease in it.
Not good enough?
Oh, the
well,
grease
it's
pit.
right, the grease pit.
Oh, this is perfect because this is what my idea was we do need to take a long rest.
Yeah.
Maybe we go to Maple's house. We know it's empty. Rest there.
Oh,
Quite a good
deal with
It's a
those
safe
guys.
place.
No.
It's a safe place to stay, and then
We kill
we're
all
right
tax
by the grease
collectors.
pit to go Portalote.
Love it.
Ta-da!
Excuse me, I didn't do that. Well, actually, we don't have the tattoos yet. I was like, or I could just give you fist bump tattoo wise, but we don't have it.
Actually, that's a good idea. Well, of
It's
course,
a great idea.
before we sleep in
Excellent
Maple's
idea.
house, we have to search it for our own
That's
safety.
true. We really do.
Maybe
I
we'll
wonder
find
what
some
we'll
more
find
maps
in,
there.
in Maple's house.
Let's hope Tripicus isn't there.
All right.
That's okay. We can sweet talk a bear.
So essentially, we'll just try and
Use honey
explore a
words?
long rest?
Yes, honey.
I actually I think that's reasonable. Like, if you have to break in.
We
but-
know where it is.
Hi.
Do we have to break in?
No, we can break in.
We
Castle is not a
don't
break-in.
have to break in. I have a key that just happens to look a lot like a set of thieves' tools. But she gave it to me before we left.
Okay.
Listen, we know where the house is. They said that we are
Yeah.
friends like forever, so we can go into their house. It'll be fine.
Sure, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, absolutely.
your tattoos, very expensive
good.
tattoos.
Here we
How's this working? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Oh, wow,
Kept
feedback.
too close.
Okay. Advantage on these, so yeah, we're talking again about a 30, why not spend a low? We're gonna take a rest about a 40 thieves tools check.
He does this again, remember?
Yeah, I know.
Charms it open.
Creaks open. You all shuffle in, close the door, keep the lights off, make it look like no one's home. Ransack the place.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
ransack. I mean, I'm just saying.
Ransack
You call
is
it ransack. I
harsh
call it.
word.
I call it a 28 investigation check.
Do we,
And some detect
we
magic.
find some weird souls in jars?
That's the point. Now we know that. Yeah, let's
I'll
definitely.
tell you what. You do not find that, but you do find a secret room. Inside the secret room
Is souls
are
in jars.
various. You see an armory of weaponry and receipts to various demon lords and archdevils.
I knew they were suspect.
What?
Well, weapons. This is a former colleague of ours. This is why we asked a few more questions this time. Detect magic and such. I mean, is this
Infernal and abyssal. They're all magical.
sure, but sort of bad magic as well?
No, they appear to be celestial weapons.
Oh, great.
Are there things we can use?
Well, yes, if you would like. They're basically your standard +1s, +2s.
Sure.
Kind of.
I mean, I'll throw them in the. I'll make a new bag of holding just
Just in
to,
case.
Yeah, just rob them. Why not?
They are never coming back.
Well, their Uncle Tripicus will be coming back at some
I
point.
don't care.
If Tripicus is an arms dealer as well, then Besides which, we did save you from
Tripicus,
tax
my-
collectors. This is the tax.
Okay. You
Yes, we can blame it on the tax collectors.
All right.
Yeah.
We got it back.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to write a note that says, your taxes have been paid. Signed, Dr. Doofus.
Very good.
The legends of the realms. Stealing +1 swords.
We
Destined,
I want
destined
+1 dagger.
for demons. We are diverting an infernal and abyssal arms ship.
Of
I
course.
feel okay about
I
that.
agree.
So yeah, but mostly +1, +2. But anything noteworthy in that bunch? No. Okay. But still, I'm just saying. For me,
They appear
this
to
is
be
raw material.
fairly basic planar weaponry that you can get fairly easily from any of the upper planes.
Sure, but that's raw materials. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
So I write the note.
Sure.
love it.
Don't leave a trail.
Okay.
So this seems like our place for the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Long rest and then Alfheim.
And I blow the pipe smoke from my ever smoking pipe over your note, which means nothing you've done can be traced back
Oh.
to the one who does it.
Nice.
Magically.
You couldn't have done that when I signed the contract with the devil.
I don't think you were there.
I wasn't there. You need to go out with me more often.
And while that's happening, you see, they walking around, sleeps on a bed, not too big. She goes another one.
Oh no.
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 And then sleeps on the floor. Just right.
Bring him some honey.
You can gain a long rest.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Spell slots restored.
Key point is back. And then we have to roll hit dice to.
No, you just get.
No,
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 Long
yeah,
rest is
yeah.
die. Okay, yeah. Oh, thank God.
God forbid we enter 2 big battles in a row.
These are big battles.
Yeah, dude, I lost like 130 hit points last time.
No, that's pretty
Yes, but you did it so stylishly,
Yeah.
stoically standing there while these
He basically just said it was like,
wailed on you.
Yeah, all right, come on.
is that it?
Okay,
All you got?
you all wake up.
Tell me how I wake up. No,
I have been awake.
I'm at the window.
Because you don't sleep.
I wake up.
You guys make funny noises in your sleep. Let's go.
Oh, that's
Is that
part
what
of
we're
being.
calling them? Sticks.
So why is it that you don't have to sleep?
Now you're asking me. We have to go now. This has been terrible timing.
Oh, well, if you
I
don't
do
want
not
to tell
know.
us, well,
But I will say I have not had to sleep or eat. Or pretty much anything since...
Now that would be marketable if we could figure.
yeah, low
Oh,
maintenance.
trust me, no, it's not marketable.
No.
it's-
You
no,
do
it is.
not want
Well,
this.
you're already well ahead of me. I don't need food or drink either, but that seems
You
fascinating.
don't?
Part of being a monk. You get to a certain age, you get control of your metabolism, you get control of your body. It's all about control of your inner self and who you are. And once you do, you don't need
But
things.
her way leaves you in stitches.
True. I mean, that is an unfortunate path, but here you are.
Okay, can I start just by counting the, some sort of energy units of the food I'm consuming, or like just keeping a list of? I mean, is there a path to this?
Oh, I can. Yes. Here
Right.
you go. Actually, I'm so sorry. I have not given it to.
Well, we should. Yeah, we got a
pamphlet that
It'll be a
says
spell
Monkhood
phone app.
101.
Oh, the Merrick's Fitness Pal.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get back on that after Monk Mushies.
Monkhood 101.
But I would
Path
say
of the solar bastion.
We go to
Wait.
Fell. No, we're going
No.
to the place.
we're going to bed.
No, I thought he was
I
Going to the grease pit.
Grease Pit.
I would say that Merrick's is also the long rest got me a little more perked up. I'm back on our munchies.
By now,
Let's go.
this
That's been long.
All right, let's go to bed.
On the way to the grease pit, I will
Yes.
explain that I am...
It's your reborn, bitch.
Well, I do not breathe, I do not eat, I do not sleep, but somehow I still walk.
How's physical sensations? I was just curious about this. I was wanting to,
I mean, when I am hit, I am
more or
hurt.
less than 10 years ago. Yeah, but like needle prick.
It's fine, but it hurts. I mean, it's
All right, that's just good. That's good. I mean, we're trying to keep sensation going here. That's good. All right.
Do you still taste the food, though?
I don't really try it. It's too depressing.
I mean, part of the experience is more the taste than the actual satiation. If you're already satiated and would just like to taste things,
I suppose I could. I did have some of that forgiveness food.
That's true.
It was okay.
Nice dose of penance.
Needed more.
life is still worth living.
What is the...
All right.
Don't say that around the chef.
We're not there. We're on our way to the
not.
grease pit.
Yes, sweeping the streets of the hive and keeping away from the shadows and letting the orc with the halo and the paladin in shiny armor and the famous wizard mostly keep the casual ne'er-do-wells at
is
bay.
my Elminster vendor.
Oh, he's over in the Great Bazaar.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Can I disintegrate him?
You head down to a noisy alley brimming with every type of smell that you could ever possibly imagine, both good and bad. There is deep fried meat skewers sizzling in bubbling oil that appears to be screaming. There is it's screaming in rage, screaming in zeal, which
How
is
about the fried eyeballs?
battle
They
cries.
enjoy.
Well, yeah, they're doing
Fresh.
quite well. They're being boiled in water of the river Styx.
Ooh.
Yes.
They stay
very
far away
exotic.
from that.
Spicy
And hide his
dishes. You can see there is a pit fiend, a large red-skinned devil who has just got an entire hog that appears to have been roasted with infernal fire of
That's a whole other kind of pit.
the seventh layer, and just
Bacon.
there is a couple of people who seem to have taken a little too much of a spice, as they're literally breathing fire out as they coughing in the red face as they immediately grab a snow cone being sold by an angel and just steam pouring out of their mouths as the angel ends like located right next to the spicy food.
Money, good money.
But you can see there is also right next to the eyeball place. There is someone selling some candies. that look fairly normal.
Yeah, okay.
That's always a trap.
But yes, you pass by a place
Did
called...
they address me as little girl?
No.
Oh, okay.
You pass by a place called Bog Standard with some frog-like folk serving up very, not greasy, but just damp burgers. Yeah, slimy burgers. There is a place called Make It Snappy, which has got an entirely bottomless tank filled with aquatic things. There's Slim Pickins, which are run by 2 buzzards. They boast that they have sustainably sourced roadkill.
Jesus.
A candy shop run by a fairy dragon called Sugar and Spice.
I know we're going to come back to there when we have more time.
Imp carries out a tray of cupcakes and sets that down, and then goes back with he puts the chef hat back on. And then you see Humongous Fungus, enormous toadstool with myconid operated
That's the
sandwich
place.
parlor.
This is where we need to go.
Yeah.
right.
So, Shiny, hit us for the solo. I mean, it pains me, but maybe we can play the flute together.
Oh, this is where we were trying to play the flute.
Yes.
I'll join that.
Do I have to droop it?
I mean, you're really doing it, but I will also produce a flute.
All right, so a little jammy.
You see immediately the myconid's like, oh no.
Everyone's a critic.
Well, I do have a policy. It's that you should never.
Down and
And it's
should
you're all
never-
walking through the opening.
I was just going to say you should never applaud a bad bard. It's considered an insult just to them. So
That's all right.
Ouch.
I was in no danger of doing so.
The edge of the humongous fungus doorway does kind of brim with a bit of energy, and you see one of the myconids just kind of look a little terrified before it pops out of existence.
The Myconid?
Yeah, that was standing right there where the portal opened.
Aww.
Oh, he's gone to a better place.
Yeah,
You see a
literally.
patron who is kind of reaching over to grab a sandwich, just and is also gone.
We should probably just go through and
Yeah, let's get through and shut this thing down.
before
yeah,
innocent
there we go.
people aren't just
Through we go.
pulled into a star.
Okay. Making your way through the portal, that lurching sensation, once again, you never get used to it.
I look back, so I'm looking behind us.
Okay.
Go through the portal, see who's following or watching.
You do see a familiar-looking human man who is just kind of pointing over in your general direction with some red armored individuals. But
Oh, that'll be
go.
for next time.
yeah. The lurching sensation stops as you feel ground beneath your feet. Your legs or your boots are tickled by grass and vines. You hear this sounds of bird calls and nature, leaves rustling in the breeze, blue sky up overhead. And as you notice the blue sky up overhead, you see ahead of you is a huge garrisoned fortress with scores of elves, all face painted and wearing powerful looking armor, all with bows pointed directly at all of you. It is very quiet as the wind rustles, and you can see fear but also determination in their eyes when one of them, who seems to be sort of walking with the air of command, steps forward on the battlements and looks down at you. What do we see?
You see a figure shorter in its stature compared to most elves, but broader in nature. Long black hair frames their face, but half of it is covered by a red bandana. There's a gambeson that goes down to the knees, black in color, and there's a small sort of gorget breastplate over top of it. Gold bangles adorn their wrists, and there is a ring flashing with a red stone in the light. So far, their arms are crossed.
And I would also say that their appearance is tinged and flecked with crimson at the edges of the hair and
But only
fingernails.
slightly, yeah. There's
just a little bit.
just near the eyebrows, maybe the eyelashes, maybe.
This is not a type of elf that I would recognize.
They look similarly to like a wood elf. that you
Okay,
would
but
recognize.
not the elves that are in my neighborhood.
No.
And what you see from us are fairly similar to what we look like. Armor, blue and gold regalia, a large blade made of amber, which would look rather frail if you knew what amber the material was. But this one is it's kind of got a light glow to it, obviously signaling that it is not fragile like amber.
There are some bugs in it, though. If you look close, it's kind of cool.
And he said that he has milky white eyes, but not undead or like disease or whatever, and definitely not glowing like an ASMR. But there's something different about the eyes on this one. Human, but just off human. And beside him is...
You see a woman with long white hair, and she has a glow emanating from her chest. If you look closely, you can see it's behind a very obvious surgery, a very large scar. And she wears a lot of makeup that looks like, if you look very closely, like it is covering something. Other than that, bright, colorful clothing, colorful personality. Usually.
I'm sure you're familiar with my, shoot in Sharn Inquisitive's Best Dressed, in Sharn. But if you're not human, stylishly dressed from, a slightly anachronistic to everybody else's fashion, definitely has a lot of just little sort of pieces of jewelry or wands or sort of charms tucked away. And in particular, he does have a small backpack with big pockets on the side that he will be pulling things out of all the time.
That's right. A giant battle axe also, and crossbow, and cards everywhere.
Well, that's the point. I don't have the crossbow. Yeah, well, you have the crossbow. I was going to say I have a crossbow occasionally. But, but basically, especially compared to this bunch, in this current moment, he would look strangely non-martial. Like, I do not have a weapon. I am not currently wearing armor. I'm just a well-dressed guy with a backpack.
And you see an old wizard with long white beard, white hair, the usual crazy, unkempt look. He has a long sword scabbard at his hip. There are legends in Karamakos and Glantry, white-bearded wizards far, far in the past, creating lots of chaos and then vanishing as quickly as they came. But hey, there are a lot of long white-bearded wizards.
Especially in Glantry.
Yeah. I mean, the Glantry, they have that sort of dark-haired, sly look.
Fair enough.
Sinister.
Alphacia, then.
Yeah, okay. Alphacia, yeah. And so, of course, this might not be the same one. This might just be another antagonist.
I think you would probably just immediately assume Alphacian.
Yeah.
Based on the whole wizardry thing.
And then you on the other side see a tall, almost 6'4" orc of wiry build, covered in ashy tattoos, with similar to me, with a shoulder, like something simple to cover his shoulder, and a bandolier with various vials of ash inside of it, and a very traditional looking dhoti that is covering his bottom half to providing him with enough mobility. And the one thing that really sticks out outside of his orcish tusks and orcish features is the hair. He has a braided hair with sides all shaved that goes from the top all the way to the back, and that hair seems to be flowing a little, almost like in water. Every time he moves his head, almost out of step in time with the rest of his body.
It was such a good feature. I'll say in Elvish, we come in peace.
And not pieces.
Hopefully.
Nothing that ever comes through that portal comes in peace.
I will also say in Elvish, but we do.
And how do I know to trust you?
You don't, I say in Elvish. We have to learn to trust each other.
We all look
It's
at
the way
Maris.
of life.
Can I?
Yeah, I know Elvish too. I say in Elvish. But no, I'm talking Elvish. Like a bunch, you would think they don't speak the common tongue. Everybody speaks the common tongue.
Yeah, well,
it's like common. He says in common.
Do you speak Elvish?
I speak every language.
Oh, so do we all speak? None of us are
This'll
special.
make it easy.
I have to say I do have a helm of comprehend languages, but in fact, of the relatively few I speak, one of them is Elvish. So yes.
My monk feature literally allows me.
So you
every
said,
tongue.
you said, what was your last line?
Oh, you don't, but we have to learn to trust each other. That is life.
Can I?
I was going to say, all we can say is we are here traveling across the plains in hopes of protecting and preventing an upcoming disaster. If you are willing to work with us, we're happy to share all our information and hopefully use your assistance as we could use it.
Have you, perhaps, within the last couple of days, had some kind of drain on magical energies, a bizarre experience? Are you even now, perhaps, if you have any spellcasters among you, feeling
The
Eddie's
entire
thoughts?
land quakes, as it has been doing for quite some time.
This is happening everywhere, and I don't mean everywhere here, I mean everywhere imaginable. And we are trying to find a way to stop it, to save not just our world, my world, or your world, but whole worlds.
What other worlds are you speaking of?
Yeah, at this point, a lot of the elves are kind of starting to look at each other, and like some of them are.
Yeah, they're
Perhaps I would step in at this point and say that other worlds, meaning places across vast oceans and various, prime directives. No, across other oceans and places that perhaps you've never really traveled to. But we
The
are.
Lady of the Elves could tell you more if she wasn't busy.
Here,
She's immortal.
this will help you understand.
it's a dog.
When you look at it, it's totally him being
Silly face.
being pranked and looking embarrassed. Well, beyond, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. That does show the sort of orrery of worlds.
No, there's
These
like,
are
I'm actually
all
like,
these places. You can see some are shattered. You know that again.
And that one
is
there is yours.
Rage.
That one there is Mystara.
Yes, and on the map, the blue star in the upper corner, that is your world.
The known world.
TM.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of these places are in danger.
I toss this gift back down from the battlements, considering I've been up there this entire time.
Yeah, of course.
Fine, come in and be quick about it.
Anyway,
One of the elves is like, what?
Where do they think the people coming through the portal are coming from normally?
What?
That's a good
Are we-
question.
Worst comes to worst.
Yeah, we-
unless they do something stupid.
Very good.
well, that
I
is
do.
natural. I feel like a lot of people do silly, stupid things all the time. I don't think it's worth killing.
Me too, look at the face again.
Pretty much my thing. Yeah. Okay, don't do the face here.
Come in quickly without any trouble.
The elves will lower their weapons, but keep all of them drawn as you are allowed into the battlements to meet with their commander.
I'll go. My name is Loholt.
Alinder,
Alinder. It's nice to meet you.
what's all this handshake?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
That's
just
where
like a dude. Yep.
Yeah, dude.
We're all shaking hands now.
Totally,
You do.
bro.
There has none that have come from not the known world that have spoken the way you've done. And yet none of you look like you should be together at all.
Because we are not from one world. We do not belong together. We have come together because we have to.
We're
Save
all
of
from
our
different worlds.
Right. Just hold there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I reach behind the throne.
You may need a drink.
Going to pull out a hunting rifle and shoot right into the middle of their group.
Very good.
And cast a spell with it. Zone of Truth.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna fit right in here.
That's a hell of a way to do a zone of truth.
The gun, you know?
Rifle.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
I'd like to say, as the explosion of the rifle happens, there's a burst of red clouded dust from the powder chamber.
Steel.
Well, it's not actually red steel; it's the black powder or the red powder made from
Red Steel, yeah.
Hey, yeah, we can let's
Hey.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a rifle before, this is a rifle. If you have not, I just shot a cane with a pipe attached to it, and something came out of it.
I've been thinking about something like that for
I think that's fun.
You have traveled, or whoever procured this information, this ammunition has traveled far from Mystara.
well, far from Alfheim.
Well, far from Alfheim.
Okay.
me asking as Keith, what was your name again?
Alinder.
Alinder?
AL''INDER.
You got it right, except for the apostrophe.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Well, we're all like that. Me and my twin brother both have the apostrophes halfway through. So,
That can be painful.
the save DC for the Zone of Truth is 16.
We all relent.
Sorry.
Will you relent?
I will also relent.
I've already
Sure.
tell the truth.
Fine.
Bloho, well, after would Bloho recognize what he's doing?
I mean, he did just shoot a gun.
The effects, the blast effects of the truth.
I think you would understand what a Zone of Truth feels like.
Yeah, so
You feel that similar effect.
Chance of
He
our
looks at his own
I have told you the truth, but never the whole truth all this time, and I will continue to do so. Ask me anything. I have no boundaries.
You've been to Mystara before. Why?
On one occasion, it was to kill a renegade wizard of Plantry. On another occasion, it was to tell a certain rebel in Karamakos that killing everyone in the Grand Duchy would not be a good idea. But these were long, long ago.
I'm trusting that we have a montage that is just, and then there was a time.
Yeah.
And then and now everyone's like honestly,
How long?
We talk about the RNA.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. He just keeps
But
going.
if it makes you feel better, I have not marauded over this territory ever before.
Well, hopefully you don't have to start now.
Agreed.
All of you are from strange places. All of you have this affliction affecting your planets too. Planet, that's a strange word. And why are we all speaking Elvish?
Who's speaking Elvish? I turned to common.
I'm like, out of respect for you, of course.
I just know I can speak to anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you speak common, or are you not understanding me when I speak common? Because I gave up on the Elvish after making that point.
Your accent is very strange.
It's
Yes, I
true.
can understand you.
All right, good.
Okay.
Do you speak Draconic?
I speak that too. That's my other one.
I do not speak that. Let's not
Took
speak
that
that.
in school.
I cannot speak Draconic, but I can certainly read it.
All right. Anyhow, we interrupted. You said
So
we're
we
all
have to pass
strange.
it
We
on.
got funny accents. You're correct on all of those counts.
Yeah.
Right. So what exactly are you here to do?
To find a card.
A card, as in, discard mean something different?
Merrick does. Merrick pulls out a card and just says, "This is part of a powerful artifact that has been scattered among worlds. We do not yet fully understand. We believe that there is a malevolent person who's trying to drain power from all the worlds to bend reality itself, all realities to their will.
And your journey took you here to Mystara.
These cards have been scattered throughout all known worlds and unknown worlds. Should we be able to reacquire them, she may be able
Collect them all.
collect
Maybe able. Maybe able.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
will
remains
do
to be
it.
seen. She will be able to use the cards to find the answer to the problem afflicting us, how we can overcome this enemy and to bring things back.
And from my
One of them is here.
And from our understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but wherever each of these cards are, there seems to be some level of either chaos or
Entropy.
entropy of something that should not be happening that it is. Is there such a place here?
You have sensed this.
There are 5 spheres that make up this world. 5 spheres of magic. One of them, in fact, is entropy. It's attached to the element of destruction, which would explain quite a lot. Fine. If you intend to do this, I'll help you, but you've got to be careful. This place doesn't like wherever you're all from.
That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't.
No, you don't understand. No one here has seen, apart from the odd wizard, no one here has seen a person come from someplace else before. You're not just strange, you're fictitious.
Oh, I haven't been fictitious for years. This
Perhaps we should keep.
marvelous.
I'm claiming the literary rights on this one.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the whole series.
Chapbooks.
Well,
Prudent that we approach this in a more silent manner without making much of a ruckus?
We know how to be discreet.
Yeah.
Well,
For
knowing
seconds at
is
a
one
time.
thing.
We can look. Remember when we were on that train and we were in disguise and we were completely
Yes,
discreet?
aside from the
Nobody knew
explosion and the
anything.
electricity.
I should
and,
This is just a minor note, but I'm just going to call out that when we're doing casual stuff like this, Little Stinker actually has crawled into the backpack. Like, he's not sitting on my shoulder shouting disintegrate at the next minute. So just as how weird are we looking here? So
I mean, can we blend in? Are there, like,
Which card are we here to find?
well, if we are going to the
there were two.
Coast, we are trying
But
to
one's
find
missing.
gem cards.
The Savage Coast is supposed to hold the gem card. The
I'm pretty
Talon
sure that's
card
what I
was supposed
just said.
I know. The Talon card was supposed to be at the Isle of Dread, but that one seemed to have not.
Right.
You're no longer getting the energy signature.
Right. So right now, the gem card on the Savage Coast.
Well, savage is it. It's the term most around here use, but inside we often call it just the Red Coast.
The Red Coast.
You
The Red
do not want to go to the Red Coast.
We do.
we
do.
don't.
No,
We just
We
have to.
don't, but I think we have to.
You deserve
I want to
task
go.
for mission.
You simply do not understand it. The coast is cursed.
Oh,
No.
I can deal with curses. Don't worry.
Tell us more.
Yes. What kind of cursing?
We're fictitious, remember?
I look at the others in the room, the other elves. Could you give me a moment with these friends, please?
Yeah, they're just kind of like, aye, sir.
I hope as soon as they step out the door, you're gonna like suddenly talk in a different accent and be like, okay, now those jackasses are. Let me tell you.
I whisper to one of them. If they are here at all, Ordana must have sent them. So we must accept them for what they are.
Very well. But we will, of course, keep an eye out, just in case.
I would expect nothing less.
The whole ground shakes again.
Also keep your feet about you. Right. And as they walk away, he reveals his face. And it is bad. It looks like a sunburn gone very, very wrong. Everything from the lower half, there was tendrils of red above. It's bleeding red. It looks like, the pieces of him might have fallen off and been put back together. The gums are bleeding too. It is red, red, red.
Does this look like it's naturally a part of you, or that this is something that happened to you?
It looks like something that's happened.
Oh, well,
Is there a way that we can help?
When did this happen and what caused it?
This is the Red Coast, you were saying.
It happened since birth.
Oh, okay.
To be born in the Red Coast, to be at all in the Red Coast, is to be cursed, and once one leaves the Red Coast, the Savage Coast, as some would say, well, you start losing things. First, it's simple. You start losing just bits of yourself. Perhaps you're less comely than before, or perhaps you're less intelligent. Something just goes away. But then it gets worse. You start losing track of time. You start losing yourself. Some of us are lucky enough to basically be walking drones. Some of them, it's a reason they call it savage. After losing so much of your brain,
Of yourself.
this is a curse?
it is a curse. Or at least we think it is. It's been on for so long.
I'm just gonna try it because I don't know. I've never seen this before, right? And I will put my hand on you.
Sure.
Remove curse.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Look.
So what
Yeah, worth a
happens?
shot.
So like, what happens though?
You feel the energy course, and it immediately is repelled. There is this. You're fluent in curses, so I'll give you a little bit of this.
Okay.
You can sense that they are not afflicted by only one curse. They are afflicted by layers of 3 different curses so interwoven that they cannot be removed individually, but would all have to be undone at once.
I will say this, and I'm not going to go against your ruling, but this does remove all curses.
I understand that.
Creature. Okay.
But I also know how this curse works.
Okay.
This is epic stuff.
I'm not arguing. I just want you to be aware.
I'm just saying, I wish
That's what
there
I'm saying.
was something more powerful we could do to help you.
Well,
Wish I knew what that was. Actually.
Yes.
well, clearly.
I wish I
Wish
could
to-
make a wish that powerful.
What is going on? Why are you all saying the word wish over and over?
Yeah.
We wish we knew.
There is
Red
magic.
Coast we missed.
There's also something called the weave on my world. We get you to my world. We can undo all of this.
I'm already somewhat protected. I point to the ring, and as you pull your hand back from casting Remove Curse, it glows brightly for a second and then turns a deeper red.
But how long does that last?
For as long as the immortal allows me to. Keep walking, that is. It's a gift
All right.
From the lake.
So,
from the lady.
if I understand the situation correctly, what you're saying is we need to go to the Red Coast because we've got a card there. But you're saying if we go to the Red Coast, we're going to get cursed.
There are ways to protect you. There's a metal. It's been a long time since I've seen loose bits of it about, but yes, if you're going to go to the Red Coast, you are going to end up cursed.
So,
Unless we have this metal.
What is the metal?
Its name escapes me.
Red steel?
Well, no, red steel is what it turns into.
Got it.
well,
It loses its efficacy over time.
okay. Do you have any of this red steel, even though it's not effective? I've just for studying purposes.
Cinebril.
Cinnabril.
No, I do not. It's
Cinebril.
What about this firearm you just used? This smoke
red
round,
powder.
or whatever we call
a
it.
rifle.
Rifle. I like it. Catchy.
Where can we acquire the Cinebril? And I have seen those.
Well,
before.
there's some of it back at my tower, but
The only place,
Cinebril in Toril?
place I know to get it is, well, the same place where we're starting.
Is it expensive?
You could say that.
We all look at Merrick's.
Oh, well, I mean,
You have a
again,
bunch of,
did buy a bunch of
swords.
tattoos, but yeah, no, we got those swords
So
are going to
many
be worth a
magical
bunch. Yeah,
Weapons to.
worst comes to worst, I can fabricate some stuff. I did have them deliver my my winnings from
Of course, yes.
Face Fist while we were taking our
How does your world work exactly? Do you just run around tossing glittering things at people and expect them to do your bidding?
Oh, not at all.
It's worked so far.
There's a contract system.
Change.
It's the Kenneth at your service.
Yes, well, there's two possibilities. I mean, the short form is I could fabricate some of this if I had an example of it. I do want to just immediately, sort of following what she just did, and sort of studying that, I am just doing, detect magic. I want to do some arcana, basically to try to gather what data I can about the curse and about, again, obviously I have nothing that would cure it, although I do restorations and such. So I mean, so I understand restoration magic is my point. But just also theorizing again, is there something that could hold it at bay,
I mean, it does appear to be being held at bay by
that ring. So I'm at least
ring
gonna.
itself, is it
May I
magical?
touch it? I don't need to, but may I touch? Identify. I'm just again trying to sort of analyze that, see if I can figure out a way to temporarily.
It is forming a temporal shield that is keeping the curse locked in time to prevent it from overtaking.
It doesn't have any Cinnabar?
No.
Okay.
Something I understand.
Cinebril wears out after a while. You need to carry a lot of it. And the moment it touches your skin, it's in effect. The longer you wait, the more of it you use up, the more red steel you manufacture.
So
Interesting.
just throwing out possibilities.
Really?
It may be that no, we have an entire quest we need to have to get here. But sort of the point with me, if I could use one of my rare magic item slots to make a temporary, the way I did the glow paint tattoos before, something I could mark on people to at least keep us safe for a period of time.
The magic that was used to create that ring is something that you would feel is beyond most mortal capabilities.
For sure.
Let's find some Cinebril and see if we can fabricate this.
Well, was there an end to that sentence, or was that?
I was just saying, so if you're trying to replicate that, that's-
I know I can't just make a rig like that. What I'm curious about is if I can look at the effect, say, got it, I see what it is doing, I can maybe pull off a similar thing because that's holding it in time permanently. And I'm just saying, can I make something that would just hold it out for 6 hours?
I think you might need some time to spend.
Sure.
Like a long rest, perhaps.
We've also got a long ways to go before we even reach the coast.
Well, I mean, technically.
Okay, how far do we have to go before we reach the area in which this curse would apply? Is it just a strip along the coast? Is it a...
So, it used to just be enclosed within the baronies, but very recently, the curse has begun to spread along the entirety of the coast.
Shocking.
Is this curse?
About the same time that Alfheim began to shake.
Yep, sounds about right.
Is this curse?
And also Serene is struggling, and Alphacia is going to war.
Or is it a natural effect of what is there, or is there a being there that is actually cursing people?
Whew, that's a big, highbrow question for someone like me. Well, long story short, it probably is a long-term effect because even the barons of the baronies are being affected. The difficulty is that, they have they keep all the metal, the Cinebril, to themselves, which means that the vast majority of the populace have no access to it, which, that's the reason. They're not going to just accept money. You'll have to do a favor, or if they'll like you, or you plead to the right mortal.
But the source of the curse is not a being, it is a natural effect that is just, and you're calling it a curse, or is it somebody who is actually saying, I curse you, like I do? I'm saying that, or somebody does.
There are many rumors and stories as to why. No one really knows, but it is said that it is caused from the bleeding of an army of dragons, or perhaps from an ancient curse or before the time. There's all kinds of theories, but no one actually knows.
This curse has gone on longer than any of us have been alive, longer than even some say the immortals have been alive. There are rumors, one that someone cursed an immortal to lie beneath, and their blood fuels the curse. One that says someone angered 3 immortals, and each of them added to the pile of curses to form something new. All I know is that nothing works on it. Not remove curse, which you try to do, nor any form of restoration effect, both of which I do know as well.
Yeah, I assumed.
You assumed?
I assumed, no offense, but the remove curse is not a very powerful effect. I assume somebody in your world would have the ability to do it. I respect it, but
Listen, I had to try.
Of course you had to try.
Also, we don't know if planar magic by someone coming from someplace else, wherever they're from.
Exactly.
No, it was a valid, just as I had to try a certain card before. You gotta
I'm
try.
pretty sure, but it was taught to me by my mentor. She said to me, it will remove
Disintegrate.
all the curses. And so, that is what I believe.
To be
True.
Think of it like this. Once upon a time, someone cursed someone. Someone cursed someone thrice. But over time, like people do, it evolved, it changed, it grew. It is a curse. It's more than one curse, but it's not just a curse anymore. It's part of the fabric of the land. It is perhaps a long time ago, a simple remove curse, a greater restoration, something along those lines would have worked, but not anymore. It has changed. It's become something else.
If we wish to have the curse reversed, we'll need a certain potion first.
We can go get some of this Cinebril.
Perhaps we could start at least going in that direction.
I agree, because this is my point, is I understand we are not going to just come in and just in an afternoon with our personal minor effects completely undo. We're not immortals.
No.
Completely undo like a major world-changing thing.
A long
But
time.
if we can find a way to at least temporarily protect ourselves from it while we do what has to be done.
Sounds like Cinebril is the way to do
sounds
it.
like Cinebril.
Cinebril is the way.
Yep.
Where's a good place to get Cinebril around here?
The
The barons.
Or any.
I am a baron. I'm just saying, so we got a common ground.
No, I know some barons and they're not.
Kenolbarth Forest is right next to, it's surrounded by the trading nation of Darokin. They probably would have.
Republic?
Yes. They might have some. The issue is that Cinebril removed from the Red Coast loses its power and is basically just a really terrible metal that no one wants. So there isn't much of a market for it outside of the actual
But
coast.
perhaps we could analyze it or jumpstart
We are
it.
staying on the
Cinebril
coast.
isn't Cinebril into.
No, you are currently in Alfheim.
I got it.
Yeah.
If we can get deposits of the Cinebril, I could employ my chronomantic powers to restore it in time, letting it stay stay longer.
Or shifting it back to the state.
Probably like what?
What I'm saying is it lost power being removed from the red coast. If we could amplify your little trick a little bit and sort of restore it to when it had the power, still
If
part
that's
of
the
it.
case, this red metal is the byproduct, it seems, right? Could we not just
Red steel.
the red steel?
We don't have a lot of red steel.
Oh, how quickly does it
Which is
turn
more
to red
common.
steel?
It depends upon the effect of the curse, how long you've been affected under it, etc., etc., etc.
But you could take a pile of it right now.
Is what I'm.
It has to be within
So
24 hours.
that's the issue.
And even
We're
still,
already
Chimera
talking-
may not grant me
Right.
that much temporal power.
We're already talking about something that is beyond the reach of what you can normally do. I'm hoping that perhaps we can come up with something crazy to stretch that a little, but I would still think we would need as close to
Let's at least
the
go
pure
to
thing
a
as
deposit
possible.
of Cinnabril and
So, yeah, let's-
leave the barons to us.
No, I will not leave the barracks to you. This is not your home, it's mine.
Agreed. Yeah.
And this planet has been through enough.
What I mean is, we'll
What
get the
if we
Cinnabril.
just wish that we get some red steel or whatever,
It still would lose.
and we wish that this particular mass that we have in front of us become like Cinnabril is?
We need to get into the coast first.
Oh, right.
That's probably reasonable, I think, yeah.
It's certainly reasonable. The only problem is it would have to be in the coast first. So the question is, are you all willing to be cursed, knowing that there may not be a way
Oh,
back?
of course. Of course.
The rumors about you are true. aren't
We're crazies from another world. It's okay. That's the crazy
they?
one.
I think the term crazy is a bit
How
outdated.
quickly does the curse take effect?
Maris isn't quite.
The second we step on the coast, or within like an hour?
You do realize that when you tell someone a land is cursed, they don't exactly just wander through so you can experiment on them, right?
We will
Well,
be
we
the
would, but-
experiment. You like to do it with those.
Yeah, great. Okay, I would say no, except I do happen to know a friend I wish I knew better.
Is there?
So yeah, fine, let's do this.
Is it just me, or is there like 6 different voices speaking with
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably the most absurd day of my life, and if it turns out to be a nightmare, I'm cursing all of you.
Oh, it's one.
Don't worry, I will then remove
Would you
that
like
curse.
something to drink?
Cursing is
That's okay.
That
That's
there has a flask.
You do a curse to a friend for bonding
Yes,
and
yeah.
friendship.
Okay, right.
I
I
will
appreciate that.
go find us a carriage to take us all to the coast.
How long does that take? Because A, we could get you a carriage real quick, but B, do we really need a carriage to
Well,
get here?
yeah, so for your reference, ordinarily you could potentially get a Serene skyship. Those all fell out of the sky
Yep.
around the same time the curse began to spread. In fact, Serene is struggling to keep aloft. If that were to eventually fail, you'd probably see an extinction level event, but so far they've managed to keep it aloft. You could potentially deal with Alphasia to try and get something from them, but they're currently being invaded by the neighboring country, so all their magic is being thrown at that. So we
Teleport?
that
Yeah,
would probably
that's kind
be
of where
a better
I'm
option.
going for.
Okay. Now, to teleport successfully
Yes.
with all of you, we'd have to. We're banking on magic working reliably enough that it not go awry.
So far, if you intend it to cast a spell, it works. Long-lasting effects are the ones flitting in
Okay.
and out.
Right.
Also, curses going haywire. If you are inherently magical, you may experience some side effects, up to including, death, that kind of thing.
I was thinking it was more going to be like, bowel discomfort, headache,
So we
nausea.
literally have a magical implant in our
And
chest.
the other thing
Like
is,
an American medication.
I either have to know exactly where we're going because I'm already familiar with it, or I need to be able to see it. So could we
Well,
get
you
up
could
high?
go off a description, but boy howdy, you better be lucky.
Yeah.
Well, where
Get up high somewhere and look at.
Could you read his thoughts?
Yeah. Do we check that's
normally people ask.
No one said he was gonna. We'll ask before doing it. We were just asking if it was even theoretically possible before asking.
Yes, of course.
No one's gonna read
The
your
paladin
thoughts or
not
anything.
being subtle.
Are they always like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Sometimes we're even better.
It has been quite a journey. A very short one, but also quite long, it seems.
Oh, just wait. He hasn't tried to recruit you yet.
Are there teleport?
I was waiting to see.
Any
yes,
permanent
but
teleport circles that you know of around this part of us?
I know of. difficult.
If there are, they're going to be in like the heart of the barony's mansions, and I don't think you've been there.
There's places supposedly, but the Immortals restrict travel, of course, to keep us all safe. Because naturally, if we just could go wherever we wanted, we just start wars with each other incessantly, like it's happening right now.
There's another thing, associated object. Are there, say, towers where groups of wizards customarily appear out of that never went in there?
Well, presumably you get a steady supply of smoke powder from the Red Coast to keep your weapons functioning correctly.
True.
That at least has some value outside of the Red Coast from the various trading moguls. If you were to use that, that would meet the requirements of within the last 6 months being taken from the location. But you're going to get it from wherever, somewhere within the trade transit of that, right?
1 second, please. I walk to the middle of the room, gently pick up the bullet that was left on the ground.
Yeah.
This was there recently.
That ought to do us. Are you ready for a long journey? Anyone need to pee or have a drink or pick up a little snack or
Don't do any of those things.
pack some spells?
Back some spells?
What do you do when you're ready for a long journey? Do you kiss your loved ones goodbye? What?
Oh yes, I kissed them with my radiated mouth. That would just work out well, wouldn't it?
I have no idea if they're affected too or not. If you all came from the same place?
They are.
Well,
Except for my brother, but he's long gone. He's off, I don't know, married some regent or something a long time ago.
well,
We don't talk.
yeah.
We don't talk.
Okay. Is there any... Because we can go right now, but are you ready?
Yes, we are ready. Let's go.
Well, we need
Elminster. We're going to
That'll
get...
be inside. Let me just hold on.
He's a little
You're
slow.
going to get very cursed. It'll be fine. If you feel like you're changing as a person, it's all part of growing up. But you are going to get cursed. And the only cure for the curse is the place where you get cursed anyway. So you're going to get cursed, and ideally, they say they can trade with the barons. I doubt it, but good luck. You will get uncursed so long as you keep it on you. Does that seem good?
Sounds fantastic. I think it makes sense.
I'll
Sounds
go
great.
ahead and
Uh-oh.
whip up a periaptive health just for sheer, can't hurt.
And if you are looking for something with more time or help controlling your time, here's perhaps you would like to join our order. I do have the ability, as you can see, and he points to his hair, waving around.
I do think that my order would prohibit me from joining your order.
So, well, it's perhaps you can just hold on to
No, thank you.
a token of my friendship,
I don't know you.
a token of meeting.
Who does that?
Well,
Evidently.
Yes, please document this.
Oh, what did you get on your reading?
Merrick's.
In a bad way.
Well, and it doesn't mean in a bad way. It just means in an unusual, different, not typical, or backwards or something. In some way, he is going to end up leading us as we go to banish a curse. I'm like, seriously, man.
Wait, serious?
Yeah.
And this is
And
the
this
card
card
we have
is a bull. It's a
figured
bull,
is
which is Merrick's
associated with
symbol.
me.
We
Yeah.
assume we've figured out that he's willpower.
Well, we figured out that bull, but yeah.
And you're still doing the... You had magic card. Never mind. Right.
Elisa really should just, you gotta take a different line of work entirely.
Yeah.
this is wild.
Evidently.
D&D readings.
All right, so Ellie, you are going to teleport to the location that the bullet was manufactured.
Wait, before you do that, a quick question. Why do you think this is in the coast at all?
Oh, I sensed it. Also, we saw it on some.
enough said.
I am in the zone of truth still.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you're right.
But I will say, and also we saw it on this thing that you.
The thing I showed
Honestly,
you
if we
originally.
explain it to you, you might freak out a little bit, and that is the honest truth. But to double up on the fact of science and technology that showed us this, I also sensed it. In fact, I will be able to walk right to it once we get there.
Yeah, I mean, but I did show you the map.
If you could divine the location, why don't you divine it now?
I have to be a little closer.
All right, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, you just know it's on the coast. You don't know where. On the
Yeah.
Yes.
But I can do the thing with the cards and get more pinpoint. Okay, I'll do it.
So
The thing.
is everyone ready?
No,
she's
one
gonna do a thing.
moment.
I don't exactly go traveling very often, so no, I don't think so.
Okay, mage armor. For
Wait, but
me.
don't
You
we
want
have
to
to
see-
go to the place where we
Oh,
get
we
the
have to
stuff first?
see-
No, we need him as a guide.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where you're going.
Don't mean to. All I can say is that hopefully this will save your world as well as ours. I know it seems like a lot for us. Just come in, hey, come with us to the cursed place. But
There is a point
we
at
are
which
trying to help you.
when you experience a certain level of it
Observe.
feels like a hallucination. You know what I mean? At some point, you just go along
wake
with
up.
it.
Yeah, maybe you'll just wake up soon.
I draw out the map
Yes.
from Maple,
Look at
Yeah.
a bunch of your
and I
cards.
point along the coast, and I wait until I feel where my finger stops, where I sense the card is.
I will tell you, the entire coast radiates with energy,
Yeah.
and it makes it very difficult for you to ascertain anything. It seems to be blocking divination.
It's like staring into the bright headlights of a vehicle.
It's like, say, read that license plate, and
Yeah.
it's got LEDs right in. Yeah.
Yeah.
We must go into the curse to find it.
Okay.
That's not even
Well, we
me.
gotta-
That's legit canon in the Savage Coast.
Yeah,
So
of course.
We got our.
I need to be closer.
I think it's bullet time.
okay.
Bullet time. So I raise it up, I cast the spell, including the incantation word kumbaya.
And as the portal goes up, you hear Loho saying, "Of the land cursed, of the land colored of cinder, and tied to entropy, comes the bravest elf of all, his broomstick at ready. He gave us all a lending hand for real or fictitiously. And when this quest is over, a gem card there will be." We teleport.